Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Steal. What word? Steal. Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Playing. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Steal. Yes, steal. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Open your book up to lesson.
All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Whoa, man, you see it, you hear it. Spirit was on me to touch on this video. I saw it a while back before I came into the truth. You know, the Lord had me dealing with quote unquote conspiracy things and stuff like that. So I did come across this video prior to me being in the truth, and I don't think I've seen it since I've been in the truth. But you know how the spirit moves, and there's just so much going on in this video. So if you don't know, this is the infamous video that was taken on September the 11th when the quote unquote attacks happened to America, and the president then Bush was in a classroom, and I mean with a bunch of face value Israelite kids, and you hear what they're saying, man. And if you have an ounce of wisdom in you, you got to know that this cannot be a coincidence, man. If you look at, I'm not trying to even get into you know what happened that day as far as those buildings, you know, falling and the quote unquote conspiracy that is, but just what they're saying, all right, is the point of this epistle. You know, the hit, steal, plane, kite, hit, steal, plane, kite. What is that? Too much of a coincidence, and this is the type of BS, all right, that the Lord has blessed us to see, all right, and this is the type of BS in which we try to persuade our people with, all right, to show you that this man has to be this wicked guy, all right, named Esau Edom and his descendants that the Bible is speaking of, this wicked man that can't keep at home, all right, that's a man of the field, a murderer from the beginning. It might get me banned right there, but I'll bring that out. Matter of fact, we'll get right into it with no precepts. But yeah, man, it's a very, very disturbing video. Just watching it and having, again, an ounce of wisdom and not being gullible about yourself, it's very disturbing, man. The fact that they're a bunch of Israelite kids, again, the stuff that they're saying, too much of a coincidence, man. And I do believe that the first plane that hit had already hit prior to the gentleman coming in there and telling Bush, hey, another plane is hit, because that's what happened. But I mean, we've already done, you know, dealt with this. The whole point being, man, that this man is wicked and art imitates life. You see this man with his art via Hollywood and all these movies, we're talking Independence Day, stuff like that. All of it is just art imitates life, man. This man knows what's going on, and ultimately, if you don't, I don't think anybody on this earth is capable of doing anything without, you know, the go ahead from Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And I was thinking about that the other day when we start talking about conspiracy, the Illuminati, the hand gestures, the dates and the times that, you know, the Lord put the spirit on some people, man, that's not in this truth to really dig into that and really have blessed certain people to be able to see. Let it be for our learning. All right. Now, if you take that information and you don't do nothing with it, it is what it is. But if you take that information and it help you see the truth, then all praise to Yahweh Hashem and Yahweh Shah. But The Lord is the one that does the dates in which he, they say it happens in threes. Being unalive comes in threes. Well, it may very well be some truth to that if we're talking about Yahweh Hashem Al Shah. Again, I don't think Esau Edom is capable enough without the Lord giving him, blessing him with a mind to do anything that he's done, to come up with a date, to unalive somebody. That's the Lord. Just like we saw in that video, for them to be saying what they're saying, guess what? That comes from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. It is the Lord ultimately doing that. It's the Lord that put them cameras in there that day and did that. And now we're able to see. And if, like I said, I didn't want to get into all that, but go ahead and check out and watch those buildings fall again and see, don't it look like, a controlled demolition or something like that. I don't want to get into it, but I mean, here are these precepts, man. This is Job 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and we through the Spirit have been revealed. It's been revealed unto us who that wicked man is. Esau Edom, man. All right. The so-called white man. The earth was given into his hands. All right. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Guess what? If not this guy, where and who is he? And again, we've been teaching these things through the Spirit. Logistically, where these nations were scattered, where these, where they're at now. All right. This is why we got to study to show ourselves approved and things like that. All right, when we're learning the scriptures. But the whole point being, that the Lord gave this earth into the wicked. That's why you see what's happening happen. Just like you saw in that video, it's because the Lord had given the earth into the wicked, and they're doing their wicked business, per the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So again, you come in a naive spirit, it ain't gonna change. What the scripture says. So what if some don't believe, right? So what if you don't believe? And a lot of our people don't. They're starting to see it, but a lot of our people don't believe the depths of the wickedness of this man. Right? It's because they've received benefits, received these gifts, and they've been comfortable. See, if we were just a few years back, and I'm talking about just a few years back, 60s, 70s, our people was in a more serious spirit because the Lord had a more serious spirit on Esau Edom to do us a certain way. And you don't want to go back any further than that and to see how our people was treated, man. Give them a little gift, NBA contract here, record deal there, 401k here, job there. All right. And our people forget about Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. And that's the whole point. And that's what we're warning our people. Guess what? Hey, the same God of the Bible that y'all think y'all know is getting ready to judge this place. Before he judged, he revealed a whole plethora of things unto us, man. And we're just the messengers. He taught us who Esau Edom was. He showed us who our nation is, all right? How to serve him, what to do, what not to do. Our people didn't take heed of the majority of them, and they're going to be dealt with, man. And you're going to see, again, the depth of the wickedness of this man that we speak of, Esau Edom. Just because you don't believe that he would do something like attack his own place doesn't make it not true. It's a hard pill to swallow, sure. We would like to think that we live in an earth, that's peaceful, but it's not, is it? If you're being truthful, it's not. And Esau Edom's own people is starting to see that. That's why we speak about Egyptian against Egyptian, a man not regarding his neighbor because of that famine, a great tribulation, which we speak of is right around the corner. All right. Then we go to the book of John. This is John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. All right. He was a murderer from the beginning, starting Cain and Esau. They're from the same bloodline, man. All right. It goes back to Cain, murderer from the beginning. And that's his bloodline. And you see how he gets down. He's so much of an emperor, all right, that he'll send two aircraft, in his own providence and wreak havoc, man. This is what we're telling you guys, man. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Again, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. This man is a liar. And this is what we're telling y'all, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. And it's becoming clearer each and every day if you not blinded, man. Now, if you're blinded, you gonna be hollering that make Babylon great again. And when was it ever really great? I'm looking like with a sincere like honest spirit, man. And I'm looking, it don't look too good. Like maybe it was good for a couple of people, but we talking Great Depression, all right? Then they had the whole Vietnam. Like when was it good? World War I, World War II. When was it good? I'm looking at, man, please. They're a bunch of pretenders. They're a bunch of liars. It didn't really get okay to about like the 80s, you know. I mean, and that was short lived because look at it now, falling apart. 80s was alright, and the infamous 90s and the 2000s, and then it just went right back down to some BS, man. All right. But hey, signs of the times, man, this is not our rest. We don't want to stay here and deal with this mediocre lifestyle. But guess what? Two-thirds of the nation of Israel seem to want to do just that. All right, and they're going to get dealt with accordingly. But again, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. There it is, lie from the beginning, unalive from the beginning, man. This man Esau Edom, which we speak on a daily basis through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem and Hawashah, so we'll know our enemy, and we'll know how to avoid his traps. Matter of fact, to let's see, let's go to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And the Edom online, wow, deceitful, trick, crafty. So, the trickery, the lies of the devil, man. So we got to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. We just talked about who that is, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So, these people, they get down with the wickedness in high places. But guess what? Who's at the top of their wickedness? Ultimately, is Yahweh Shema Shah, that allows them to dibble and dabble, with witchcraft and whatever it is they got going on the left-hand side. I really don't care, but you don't know what them people doing if you're not there. So you don't know if they take children and unalive them and sacrifice them in the name of an idol. I mean, we know about that, but I'm saying, like, I always use this as an example. How you gonna say that that's not real, or people don't do that, when your so-called black or brown behind won't even say Candyman in the mirror 3 times, or you won't even touch no Ouija board? Jake know not to play with stuff like that. Now, a lot of our people do deal with witchcraft and a whole bunch of shit. I'm just saying, but the average Israelite don't play with stuff like that. So I said that to say, if you ain't gonna touch a Ouija board, say Candyman, how you gonna say that these people, Illuminati, all right, and whatever's happening in the industry, whatever they got going on, how you gonna tell us, all right, that shit like that don't happen when we talking about, blood sacrifice and stuff like that? You don't know what them people do, man. All right. Again, we are, like, the Lord has allowed us to see some of the depths of his wickedness. The whole Illuminati thing has been exposed. Again, if you don't want to believe it, that's on you. All right. But the Lord has allowed that whole secret society stuff to come out. Again, hiding that shit, talking about, they use that word conspiracy. Every time they get exposed, sure, it's probably some BS out there, but the majority of stuff that done came out, it's been the truth. Harp, all that stuff, come on, man, it was true. They just calling it a conspiracy, to save face, man. But the Lord is the one that's in control of whatever gets revealed. And the Lord did say that all things was going to come to the light that was in darkness. And we do know that the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. So this is going to come to pass, man. But the whole point being, putting on that whole armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. How do we do that? Stand spiritual. Stand in amongst the brotherhood, the sisterhood of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Studying, doing your epistles if that's what you are supposed to be doing, praying, fasting, and just it's a revolving door of all these things, man, that I just mentioned. And I probably missed some other things, but just stand spiritual, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, rehearsing the righteous acts, one act that we rehearse on a weekly basis, keeping the weekly Shabbat, right, to the best of our ability, not buying and selling to the best of our ability. All right. Not working to the best of our ability. You know, and of course the high holy days. We try to do all these things. This is how we put on the armor of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because we're getting ready to go to battle. Hell, we're in battle now, but it's going to get even more intense, and we're going to need that protection, man. And we're teaching our people, a repent, a admit that you were wrong, that you don't know everything, that you're not a freaking genius in relation to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right? That you need help and you need correction, man, and you need guidance, you need leadership, which is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and these men in their respective order that the Lord has set in place to teach his word. All right, but a lot of our people are jealous deep down, you know, because they know who they are deep down. They know, you know, that they don't reverence Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that they family probably didn't reverence Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. They probably the descendants or those same spirits that was, you know, saying, hey, let Yahweh Shai blood be upon them and their families, you know, and their generations, man, you know. You wonder why some of our people are in such dire straits in the hood, and why some of the mamas of our nation done lost all her children due to violence. It's probably stuff like that bullshit which I just mentioned, going against Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai at its max level. All right. This is what we try to teach our people. The Lord will curse you, your family, from generation to generation. You think it's cool to do a little BS, and you just gonna perish, and that's gonna be the end of it. No, 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 no. The Lord will bring you back. See, but that's a whole nother topic, you know, for a whole nother day. See, Ephesians. Go to the book of Proverbs 4 and verse 7. And it reads, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And how to attain that wisdom? Starting fearing Yahweh Shema Shai. Hey, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And we're going to need that wisdom to navigate these last days, man. So that's important. Putting on that whole armor of Yahweh Shema Shai, obtaining that good wisdom, which we're going to need to navigate these last tests, man. Lord willing, we do well and pass these last tests. And that ultimate test, that MOTB, man, not taking it. Keeping our faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. This is Proverbs 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. Hey, looking at a video like we saw, you got to trust in the Lord and believe that he is in control of that. That's a hard pill to swallow. Again, if you really believe that that's like they on some weird janky stuff, it's scary, you know, and knowing that this man has authority over us, you know, from Yahweh Bahashim Shai. That's scary, because it's like, man, if he'll do that, what else will he do? If he'll unalive his own people, you know, he don't give a damn about us. History showing us that. Again, our people have gotten comfortable here in the last few years via the gifts. All right, they forgot about how wicked this man is. See, we ain't necessarily on a daily basis getting mauled down in the street and having fire hydrants and put on us and shit like that, man. But all that's coming back. How quickly our people forget, right? They're so busy partying and in folly here in Babylon the Great that they really forgot about our suffering, man. They didn't forgot, but the Lord getting ready to remind them in a horrific way. See, the Lord has reminded his hopeful elect about that captivity. We're remembering ourselves, man. We're remembering our wickedness as well, and hopes that the Lord will forget it. All right. But yeah, I brought that Proverbs 3 and 5. Yep. Moving along. Let's see. A couple more precepts, man. 5. 2 more. 2 Timothy, verse 1, chapter 1 and verse 7, I believe. For Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So that's very, very important, man. Can't be scared. Like, we fear Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah. I mean, we fear the unknown, of course, but ultimately not fearing to the point where you can't perform. All right, not fearing to the point where you're going to be compromised and steal, compromise, be a whore, compromise, ultimately take that MOTB. All right. Where we at? One and what else? 7. Yep. Not giving us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love, right? And that goes in a charity, forgiveness. We need forgiveness from Yahweh Shema Shai. So dealing with these people that ain't in the truth like we in it, we're gonna come in an interaction with these people on a daily basis, and some people gonna cross us, man. Some more than others, some less than others, but they gonna cross us one way or another, and we gotta, be willing to forgive people. Sometimes, man, people don't really deserve it, especially if they're not seeking forgiveness. But if a person, what I mean, is sorrowful, or we gotta be willing to be merciful, man, because we need it. We done fell short, and man, the Lord don't play. We know that now. We know the Lord don't play, man. So we tread lightly, man. And and as far as that love goes, man, that sound mind. Remember, a wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, man. These confusing times. The Lord say, if we do all these things, put on that whole armor, come in that fear, He's gonna give us that wisdom, and we'll have that sound mind, which is peace. All right, while everyone else is freaking out. And we saw, our weak ass women, got on that computer, on that phone, and threatened the world what they was gonna do about them food stamps, and look what happened, man. For the most part, I don't know. I really don't know. They saying I guess some people got them. Then they talk about they gonna take them back or whatever. But I mean, whole point is, man, nothing happened, and our people just crashed on out, man. So we ain't trying to be like that. We're not dealing with that. The Yahweh Shema Shah not dealing with that. We're not dealing with that. And I'll leave it off in Psalm 23:4. Yea, classic, right? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, there it is again, that lack of fear. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. The water Yahweh Hashem and Yahweh Shah, and that's the point, man. Hey, it's gonna get crazy, and we getting ready to see how crazy this man Esau, Edom, and everybody else, all right, that ain't covered by Yahweh Shema Shah, because the people gonna fulfill the will of the Lord. They gonna get crazy. They gonna invade one another. World War III will pop off. Race wars are happening here. Gender wars, weirdo wars, all that'll happen. All over the earth, man. So, hey, now's the time. Repent. Hey, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is our power. And with that, again, all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.